Russell Hall says Anna was trying to match Shane's typical level of enthusiasm during their interview. Yeah, Ethan, did you watch the interview when Anna interviewed Shane?
No.
People were DMing me, being like, "God, she's fighting to stay awake."
It was,
I had so many DMs that, like, you have to see it. She's struggling to stay awake.
Give me a little of that. Let's see a little of Shane being interviewed by Anna.
Here's there you go.
Oh God!
Look, they look how depressed they both look. Look.
Oh, hold on. Let me share audio.
Ethan, we were saying this. It sounds exactly like an NPR interview. It's the same cadence. It's like, all right, well, you know, the monsters, they have to recharge. And she's like, well, how would they? It's like just.
It's like Anna's like, do I really have to ask this? And Shane's like,
it doesn't. It's not the same with you yammering over it.
Like when I worked on Superman, Batman. I mean, there would be fight scenes between Superman and Aquaman, or Superman escaping kryptonite missiles, or fighting a giant monster. But like the comics today, I had been pitching an action martial arts book for
Look at her. She got the 1,000-yard stare.
Oh my God! A video game. I'm telling you,
all about Orion and Calabac fighting.
Shane is just one constant level. I'm never sure what Shane just finished saying whenever he's done talking. I'm never sure.
I've been toying with the idea of a fighting comic and how to build a story around a fighting comic or fighting based comic, and so that's why I always say, like, I've been probably working on this for 10 years, but as far as like the actual story and concept,
what is even one tone?
I want to say maybe 6 years. And
physically started working on it.
Well, no, I mean, you'll start making a pitch.
Oh, and I got one.
And it looks suicidal.
Anywhere, and then there's one little part of that pitch that maybe I'm like, that seems like that would work over here. Let me take that, and let me take, So it's weird when you start coming up with just ideas for books that they just go dead for any reason. Whether I just quit working on the idea or something. But there'll always be that one thing
so just really one long continuous sentence
together with my new pitch, and now it works a little bit better. So that's why it's hard to actually say
airport announcements. The interview.
Have so many work on, or
I can't compare it to anything. It really is special.
Life events. Again, I think I've solidly worked on this thing probably like 5 to 6 years, just it being Inglorious Rex, but then there's so many influences from other things.
Shane's so hype about it.
When did you actually start drawing it?
It's like a job interview for a boring office cubicle kid.
Or was it like a rat?
Postcard that went out with
Shane Davis
with the crown on his head. Postcard that went out with Starlight Cat. So I didn't start drawing Rex. I had loose sketches and stuff. I didn't actually commit to the way 232 looked until about then. Right after I finished Starlight Cat. I'm really weird in a way where I visualized and thought a lot of this stuff out. I would do some rough sketches and just let it kind of like brew. Like I didn't just jump into it and be like, okay, I have to hit go. Let's get this done.
The Eric July interview with Shane is also really funny.
Some people don't. Like I like to think on stories and plots and concepts for a long time. I'm not so sure if I would have ever really made it up under the gun for new concepts or new ideas. When you work in Marvel and DC Comics, easy answer is a lot of that stuff's already developed for you. So if somebody said, hey, just make me a Spider-Man story, I could do that overnight.
Somebody should do a slow zoom on it.
That's my favorite
concept and idea. I would really want to think on that.
It's like that meme with all the mathematical formulas going on.
Like, I just wouldn't say, sit down, make a new comic series out of thin air. I mean, I would.
It's like a refrigerator buzzing.
I've been thinking about that just never executed.
It's like,
Okay.
Oh,
And
I like
mean,
that
with
Shane doesn't
5
feel
to 6,
burdened
and
by
so
the need to be
how
interesting. He
long,
does.
since you said it was
Just-
going to be, what, 3
he
or
just
4 more
talks.
issues? How long
It's how
do
I
you
imagine a
until
can of
it's
white paint
completed?
would talk. Do you know what I mean? Like this.
I'm trying to do one of these a year.
Now imagine if he
because
did
of
this as
paper
mange.
shortages and stuff.
Oh,
when
see,
printing-
he's got
printing
2 speeds,
Inglorious
doesn't he?
Rex 1
It's
and
this
2
or Mange
and
Davis.
everything was on time. There's supply issues, and so we built in extra time for fulfillment on Inglorious Rex 1, but I would like for Inglorious
supply
Rex
issues.
2 to
Shane is the funniest
fulfill,
guy in the
like,
entire world, dude. I love him so much.
He has no fucks that you haven't said a word in 5 minutes.
I mean, like,
Oh,
how
someone
the
just said
comics
if
coming out, I
Yanzi
mean,
could
like,
understand
because,
English better, she'd
you're
leave
an
him.
artist, so, like, do you ever just have that moment where you're like, oh my god, I just got this idea, like, I know how to lay out this page, I just need to draw right now? Like, do you, as far as drawing, or do you wait until one book is completely finished and out to start drawing the next, or is it, you know, sometimes the moment I need to draw this?
Yeah, I the way I work is,
Everything's
I don't draw
effort. Every
There's
yeah.
only been one comic
Yeah.
that I've drawn in order from page 122, and that was Gilead.
All right, Shane, you brought the razzle. Let's see the dazzle.
I wish you would have asked that.
So what I do is I normally
Shane.
I lay out the book, or I have a full script, or whatever's there. So I have like a grid of however many
I
pages
swear to God,
have, and I know
it is an
this is
NPR
what I need to do, and I
interview.
dictate, like, well, this is a 2-page scene, this is a 3-page scene, and then from there,
And
I'll
on the
take those
worst
3
speed
pages,
date
that
ever,
one
it's just
3-page
slowed
scene, and
down.
I'll lay it out. And once it's laid out, I'll draw
She almost
obviously
dozed off there.
the pages.
Oh.
But I may draw a page from that scene and a page
Look, she
from
made that
another
nice
scene
thing for him.
Oh.
Creator of Inglorious
like
Rex.
back to back. I may not draw that one sequence.
Mm.
So like because like
Brilliant.
for me, I might get bored of drawing the same room or the same characters if they're, especially if they're just talking.
Yeah.
So like but at the same time, if I have a complicated action scene, I may not jump around either.
Shane could
The-
be an
the
evil, like
idea
Bill
is,
Cosby-esque criminal mastermind, though,
I'm
putting
always
women to
drawing
sleep this way
something
illegally.
new. I mean, attention span's a
It's a
real
set
big
of
issue
filth.
when you're an artist, because you
Anna's
want to
about to
stay
drift off.
fresh.
Adam's
right?
face
You
is
don't wanna
telling
just
me
be like, oh my
I made
God,
a
this
real
is me.
mistake here.
Okay, this is page 2 at the bus stop. This is
Imagine
page
sitting
3
next
at the
to
bus
Shane
stop,
at a
whatever the case
convention
is.
for
It could
8
be,
hours.
this is because the opposite can happen. You can have like
Anna
a
just smiled
fight
because
scene that's
she was
awesome,
thinking, she was laughing
and
at
that
a
can
joke in her
burn
own
you
head
out.
about the
Yeah.
situation.
because you're just
she's
like,
in.
oh my God, I'm drawing. So I ideally, in a perfect comic, want to have my talking head pages mixed in with my action pages. They're all laid out though.
He said
so they
nothing
all
but
read
yeah
right
and
when they're put
for
together.
over 5
But
minutes.
I just, as myself, I feel like I get the best output if I do that.
He said nothing. He said
Yeah,
zero.
Totally
things.
understandable. I mean, I have a project
It's
right
amazing.
now where I'm trying to paint 200 eyes, and I'm so sick and tired of drawing and painting eyes. Like, I want to just jump from project to project, but then if you do that,
Talk
then
about
the
how much
project
they
doesn't
hate
get
art.
done.
Get done, yeah.
Don't you hate
So
doing
what
work?
was
Don't
the
you hate what we
first page
do?
of this
Oh
comic
man,
that
it's
you
the
drew?
worst.
Yeah, by the end of this, she gave up art forever.
The first page would have been.
She threw out all her paintings.
No, I'm serious. You asked me that, but it's like
Oh.
I almost knew, but then I didn't.
What's he looking
I
at?
don't know. That's interesting. That's
Shane.
What page is this?
Oh, I do know. I do know. The first, well, they were preview pages for the campaign, so probably was the spread of them training. But then after the preview pages from the campaign, I think it was the cow page.
Anna doesn't even bother
where
making
he's
full
eating
screen.
a cow, like things like that. Like, because those were stories.
Well, she knows.
I
That
have
smile
to
is-
you,
oh my
like,
God,
I
Shane
had
is
fleshed
so
out in my
funny.
head that this,
I can see Aaron Whiskey. This is how Dharma
at the same
tortured
time,
his
I would show
victims.
Rex's size and by using the cow and how he just picks him up like a burrito and puts in his mouth and things like that.
Her blinks are getting longer.
Yeah. But I think it's important as an artist that you stay attentive even if you have
God,
to move
Shane.
around. Like,
Yeah.
And she took out an X-Acto and
Well,
started
so
cutting her
what was
fucking...
the page in this book or multiple pages that burned you out? Or, like, you're just like, I don't
What
want to
made
draw
you wanna
this
off
anymore.
yourself?
I need to take a break.
there was like a spread where Rune is punching him.
Stop
It's a
interrupting me,
spread
Anna.
Mm-hmm.
for some reason I kept putting this spread aside. Like I would work on it and then put it aside and draw other pages completely and then come back to this and pick it back up and start drawing it again and then put it aside.
John, pause
like
this.
I probably milked that spread a million.
Can somebody repeat a thought that Shane just expressed?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Can somebody articulate something that he conveyed? Because he has not stopped talking for 10 minutes. Can somebody just say, yeah, he was
Sum it up. Like, what is it?
No one can follow him.
It's just white noise.
This went on for 3.5 hours.
Hold on. Let's give it like 3 minutes and let's try to.
No, 2.5.
All right. I just want to hear. You can speed it up, but I want to kind of figure out what he's saying. Like, let's find the kernel of truth.
I think we speed it up. It's going to be a lot lot more interesting. Like, yeah, it'll sound like an older person.
Let it run for 20 seconds, and let's see what he says.
I don't know that one, and I don't think it was necessarily as hard as it was just built up in my head that it was hard. Like if I psyched myself out on that page.
Is it having to do with like the fighting dynamics, the camera angles, or like were you feeling it?
No, I just think it was like because as an artist, or certain things you draw, you expect it to have a certain payoff and reaction from your audience, and I think like that type of
God, this is a
like
boring
me
thought.
Building up that artificial anticipation for that page. Like you just expect that, like that kind of psyched me out from even.
Is this sped up, John?
I mean, that's
no, this is
how I
normal.
felt about it.
John, okay, now pause it.
What happened to his fart sounds?
They're not in there.
Bam!
Yeah, if he threw one of those out every 5 minutes or so, this would be a lot more interesting.
So what he said was, I was going to draw a page and I didn't want to draw it because it was hard. I thought about it and I said, people are going to expect a lot of this. So I psyched myself out about it because he knows that people are going to want to see this one page. It's going to have impact. And it turns out it wasn't that hard at all. So there you go. That was his thought. I listened this time.
All right.
Are you happy with the way it turned out?
I'm never happy with how my artwork turns out.
Shocker.
It wasn't that hard. It wasn't as hard as he thought, and he doesn't like the end result.
Look, the only time they both are smiling, just like in their misery about how awful being an artist is.
Oh boy.
I mean that's part of the issue of I mean I'm usually happy with the book once it's printed for about 2 weeks. And then, and I always notice that working at DC Comics and stuff. Once I got the book, like
Can you imagine Ethan talking about CYBERFROG like this? After 2 weeks of that thing being out, I can't stand it. Ethan's like 2 years on. And he's like, oh man, oh yeah, Blood Honey. Oh, I loved working on that book.
I take no joy in my work.
Fucking Christ.
2 weeks, I was like,
it's like talking to an like interviewing an executioner. I want everybody to know I take no pleasure in what I do.
Yeah,
he's in the chat finally.
It
Shane,
needs to
get
be
in
like
here.
recut with like Passion of the Christ, the whipping and shit. You know.
I saw him. Yeah, come on, Shane,
Father,
get in
take
there.
this up from me.
I don't know.
Oh no, Shane's in the chat.
Shane, get in here.
Shane's in the chat. Hold on, should I get rid of this?
No. Keep playing. It's hilarious.
Come for us in real time.
I've seen it lettered, and now I'm
Shane, have the
printed, and it's really hard to. Once you make comics, it's really hard to enjoy comics because you don't just see them as a comic anymore. You see, especially
the man behind the curtain, so it's not the same.
Yeah,
I don't like comics
there's
anymore.
This saying everybody would say in comics, it's like once you know how the sausage is made, type thing.
There you go.
Yeah,
Shane.
like don't watch a documentary on hot dogs. You'll never get.
Shane is really disillusioned.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Anna's in the chat with Shane.
For the record, I think you draw very
Are you fucking
attractive.
kidding me? Get in here, Anna.
All right. I mean, I appreciate that.
Heartfelt.
He could have said anything to that, and that's what he said. I think you draw very attractive men, Shane. All right.
I appreciate that.
I don't like it.
I'm glad it makes you happy.
Okay, so I really like seeing like the black and white and like the line work, compared to like the color. Are you considering ever putting out a book with just like your line work?
Yeah, we thought about doing a black and white edition. The trick of it is I don't know when to do it and how much of it I want done to do that. I know I've seen some people just put out like a variant cover and a line artwork edition of like, say, like Ethan did with CYBERFROG.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that, or I could just wait till I'm done with it and have a black and white trade edition. A lot of DC's been doing this.
20
with a
more
lot of their
minutes.
books lately. Like I have like a couple of runs. They'll do a nice trade like that. I do plan to do that, and we have all those files saved, so I can do that. It's just a matter of when. I mean, right now, like I think this year.
How would you have answered that question, John? Hold on, pause it.
It'll still be going on.
Anna says, have you ever thought about doing a line art edition of GODLIKE?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, within within a year, I think it's going to come out. And everybody's asking for it. I think everyone's really excited for it to happen. So I'm going to do it.
All right, hold on,
Cecil,
guys.
let me ask you: how about a line art edition of Cash Grab? What do you think?
Well, I don't. It's
James backstage.
the thing is, if Donald,
Wait, can you get Shane in here? Is he backstage? Is that what you
In the
said?
back room.
Come in here.
Shane.
I get what you guys are doing. I'm a fucking retard. I get it. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh,
Merry Christmas, everyone.
You are the funniest guy in the world. Shane. I love you so much.
No, it's okay. I'm a fucking
I'm afraid
retard.
to die.
All right.
Oh God, you're hilarious.
102 Davis. Look out the camera, Shane. Pick that lock.
All right. Yeah.
Shane, my mates, right? I put that video of us playing in the group chat, our group chat. All 15 of the lads in there were crying. They were like, "What is he doing?"
What? What are we talking about?
When you were trying to
For what
pick the
it's worth,
fucking
I
lock.
haven't been watching. I had you guys on mute. I could just tell you guys are giving me shit. No, I haven't been listening. I just know you guys are giving me shit because I can
Shane,
tell.
one of my
I
best mates.
assume
Dave,
this is part of the Jack show where you have nothing to talk about,
Yeah,
and you guys are just giving me shit.
that's right.
Shane, one
Yeah,
of
that
my
was great.
boys rang me up crying. Shane, he was like, "What is your mate doing?" He's like, "Why is he trying to pick a lock? He couldn't stop fucking laughing at you."
Oh yeah, on the door. Yeah.
Oh, Shane. Well, we love you, Shane. You know that.
That was a weird interview because Anna wrote like 20 questions out for me beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
you had prepared for that.
Well, they were all weird questions, though. That's the weird thing. They're all weird questions. Cecil, I'm not the creative genius you are. I'm not a writer like you. I'm not charismatic like you.
Yes,
I'm not
you are.
talented like
You
You're
are.
super charismatic.
No, I'm not.
But
That's
then
why
you-
the
but then
interview
you
was so
intentionally-
bad.
Shane, look at Comicsgate. Look at like you are in the top tier because you are super charismatic. Not only are you a good artist, you need to be that. You are super charismatic.
You're fun, Shane. You're
But there's-
fun.
There's
But,
also
like,
something
right.
that you do when you're talking about things that you don't want to talk about. You don't even bother trying to make them interesting. You just kinda go.
Dude, she gave me. I could go through a list. She was asking, where do the cows come from? These are my questions. She's asking me, where do cows come from? Like, where's the country at? You said country over here. How do people live? How do people breathe? How do they get energy in the city? It was like all these technical questions. Nothing was about the story, really.
Yeah.
It was about like what type of
Anna
thrusters
likes
do
that
they use
stuff.
on the
That's because she had an art teacher that tore her apart. So
Yes,
she
she-
feels it's her duty to go out there and make other people feel how that art teacher made her feel.
Is that true? Is that what
and
happened?
I wasn't going to
No.
tell her like, can you come
No.
up with better questions?
I'll tell you
I
what
was
it
just
is.
Like,
I'll tell you what it is. She's a fucking true blue nerd, and the shit that interests her about Star Wars, Star Trek,
Minutia.
is the minutia, the fucking minutia that everybody
Science
just
fiction
glazes
details.
over. She fucking wants to dig in and know. That's why she could tell you how many fucking engines are on what starship and what fucking type of reactor coil they have, and just shit that you're like, what are you fucking retarded? Who cares?
Yeah, like that. It does remind me of that story I tell about Jim Lee when we're pitching Plastic Man to Dan DiDio. Like, hey, look, this is a gangster Black Irish crime book, and that's what we're gonna do with Plastic Man. And Dan DiDio goes, Jim, you have anything you want to add? And Jim goes, I would just like to know scientifically how his powers work. And I was like,
he's a plastic man.
That's right. That's it. Like, that's the last thing we want to do with this book. Well, Anna would have been there at the table going, yeah, I want to know too. Like, how does Plastic Man's powers work? So Shane got a whole helping of that, I guess.
I had like 2 paragraphs of questions beforehand, and then we talked for like 2 hours before we went live.
Oh my God, you guys! She talked to you for like
What?
5 hours.
wrong with
What is
you
it,
guys?
5.5 hours sitting?
Well, some of it was just catching up about personal stuff, like, you know, like Terry and stuff, and we hadn't talked in a while, so a lot of it was that.
You
but,
guys should have
like,
talked about that on air. That would have been more interesting.
I'm not trying to dox my kid, you know. So
Dox your kid, I assume.
Well, I'm not trying to talk about things to do, like, you know, with my kid.
Like baby antidotes are not fucking doxing your kid.
Yeah. Everybody, Merry Christmas. I hope everybody has a good holiday. If I don't see
You're staying around. Shut up. You're not
No,
going
dude,
anywhere.
I got shit to do.
What?
Like, seriously.
This
Like,
is
I got a
something to do.
page I got to get going on.
Places to go, people to bore.
Yeah, no, I have a boring page I'm working on. But
Shane, are you mad? At what level are you
no,
mad?
I
1 or
haven't
10?
been listening. I just saw, like, I just saw
so
you
this
guys
is-
doing it, and I know the interview sucks. I knew it was
This
going
is
to suck
Anna's
before I
fault.
did it.
100%. I agree.
Yeah. No. I
no.
sucked on it. Like, I was up
I
the
could
night
interview
before. I
Shane.
didn't sleep well.
I'm doing the Shane Davis interview, and I can get Shane. I swear to God, I can get Shane to come out of his shell. And
Yeah.
the whole thing is, Shane is. It's not that we're bored of Shane; it's that Shane is bored of us, and that's the problem. Like, you know, Shane is. We're not like, oh my God, like what? Shane is like, this is tedium. Like, how dare you ask me my process? If you want to know my process, here's what it
I
is.
wish
dummy.
he asked my process.
Now, I could
Whoa.
interview Shane Davis and make it interesting. I know it. Shane, what are you doing down there?
I'm trying to tighten my mic stand. It's falling.
See,
over.
already more interesting.
Way
I'm
more
bored
interesting.
already. Like, I'm sorry.
What are you drawing, Shane? What do you have coming up? Why did you hold up that sheet of paper as though that means something?
Because
What
it's
do
a
you
big fight scene I'm drawing right now.
between who?
The Vile and Anatomic and 232, and he's gonna run and do something very special with his abilities that people haven't seen yet. I'm
Well, that's
excited
very
to be
exciting.
drawing this.
I'm excited to draw it with you, Shane. Now,
No, I gotta go.
Shane, what the hell?
Before you
ain't
go,
going fucking anywhere.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a
Wait,
good
wait, I
I'm
wanna-
not going to be married now. You ruined it, Shane.
Shane,
You
Shane,
ruined
I
my
will
holiday.
Use your Merry Christmas. sir.
Shane, I want to thank you. Shane,
He just- what? Did we bully Shane?
of course we did. For fucking
Oh.
like,
All right, I'm
No.
going. I've had enough. Everyone seems to be taking the shit out of me. I'm going. Goodbye, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Choco did really good.
That was great. I didn't
I'm
mean
gonna
to
draw
bully
another
Shane.
boring page. Yeah. Well, leave the mic stand so we can talk to that.